I bet most of you forgot about the $1 million PC here, and honestly, I don't blame you. It's kind of been a while since we touched the thing. But I swear, it's not our fault. Right before we were gonna do the big demo, it broke. Then it broke again, and again. It's just been the worst kind of problem to troubleshoot. Sometimes our full petabyte of NVMe SSDs gets detected, and other times, kapoof, some of them don't. But I wouldn't make a video just to tell you it's still broken, would I? The solution ended up being shockingly simple and something that I bet you've actually seen before. But that's in the past. This is the now, and it is finally time. When this video is over, we are going to have the largest and fastest storage server on YouTube. At least until we have to find all the boxes, pack it up, and send it back to them.
Did I tell you they threw away the boxes?
Sorry, what? Oh my God.
They're not behind me.
How are we gonna deal with that? How are we gonna segue to our sponsor? G.SKILL. G.SKILL's Trident Z5 Neo DDR5 memory is built for AMD Ryzen 7000 series processors and one-click memory overclocking. Learn more at the link down below.
The culprit was this guy.
But not this guy entirely. 4 of the drives specifically out of the 12 had this erratic behavior where we would fire up the whole system and they wouldn't be there. Then we'd replug the cables and they'd come back and we could benchmark it and test it and validate it, and then they would be gone. We tried everything from moving those drives to different bays to
different servers even.
Unplugging and replugging the cables, and it just kept freaking happening. And in the end, it was one of the most basic troubleshooting steps in the book. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in? But not the drive, not the backplane,
Or the cables.
the CPU. Because what it's hard to wrap your brain around is that these are NVMe or PCI Express drives. And through the connector on the back, through the backplane, through the motherboard, to the CPU socket, they actually connect directly all the way back to your processor, which means that a loosely seated CPU could actually cause a broken link in that chain. And
here's the thing. After the servers had been running for a few minutes, that's just enough thermal expansion for that CPU pin that's just not quite touching. Bam, now it's touching.
boom, intermittent problem.
Of course, with the system already on, it's not gonna pick those drives up again. So when we were rebooting it after reseating the cables, they'd show up again. It makes perfect sense now, but oh my God, trying to figure this out. You gotta think outside of the box and also, in
deep
the box.
inside the box. You got it?
Yep.
You got it. Everybody's got it. Oh, this is not screwed on, Jake.
What is not?
This top cover.
Oh, whatever.
Where are we working on this? Are we
In there?
Oh, sure.
You have a screwdriver, right?
I have a highly erect server, that's for sure. Yes, I have my high quality ratcheting magnetic screwdriver. LTTstore.com.
Now, if we were smart folks, we might have looked at what drives they were and traced it back to what CPU it was.
Yeah, that's not a
I
CPU,
think
but you know.
What I was trying to say is we're just gonna reseat both the CPUs, damn it.
Sure. Oh,
I don't have a screwdriver yet.
I went and I put a Phillips bit
So
in
you're
here.
just gonna have to do this all yourself.
No, that's fine. Crap, I don't have a torque set. You know what? Sometimes hex works.
Oh my God, don't do that.
What?
Don't do that, that's
that
awful. You're gonna strip this and
I'm
then
not
we're
gonna
gonna
strip it.
You're gonna make this a very long video.
I'm not gonna strip it.
You could go grab another one. You can make yourself useful.
I could.
The funny thing
Oh
is,
God!
Oh my God.
I'm kidding.
Oh my God.
Oh, look on his face.
Why did you even take it out? Just,
I'm just
you don't clean the thermal paste. We'll just stick it with this.
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, reseat it, baby.
No, we should re-goop it.
No.
All right.
Thermal paste is expensive. In this economy?
Right. I mean left.
Correct.
Left? Correct, yes. No. No.
I was never much good at math. Why are these so finicky, damn it?
Ta-da.
Beautiful. Watch the server not boot now.
I know, right? That is a very real possibility. With AMD's Threadripper and EPYC CPUs, because they're so large, it is pretty easy to accidentally install them a little bit cockeyed, which can cause these sorts of issues, whether it's PCI Express devices having intermittent problems or RAM.
This isn't even on yet. This is like the boot sequence. This is the IPMI.
For those of you who haven't seen the previous parts of these series, or who understandably forget them at this point, what you're looking at here is a 1 petabyte of flash storage server, which is a non-trivial thing to build, because aside from just having enough bays to put that many SSDs in, if you want to get anywhere near the full performance of these Kioxia drives, you need a ton of compute. So inside each of these 6 1U servers here is 12 15 terabyte drives. So that's for a total of 72 drives. Each of these CD6R enterprise drives is capable of a whopping 5.5 gigabytes a second reads, 4 gigabytes a second writes. All of these work together using a file system called WekaFS that's designed specifically for NVMe drives to achieve unbelievable performance. Of course, in order to measure this performance, you actually have to put some kind of load on the system. That's where this guy comes in. It has 2 64-core EPYC CPUs, 8 of NVIDIA's A100 GPUs, those are critical to generate the load, and it has a whopping 8 200 gigabit per second network connections. And of course, those run through this 32-port, 200 gigabit network switch to each of our servers down below. That's a lot of high-speed connectivity. But with great performance comes great power consumption. And to run this thing full bore, we needed to plug extension cords into 5 separate 15 amp 120 volt breakers and a separate 208 volt 30 amp breaker.
And did I mention they're overclocked?
I mean, I feel like I can tell from all the heat coming off of it. It is flippin' warm back here.
It's very uncomfortable to stand here. Another thing we ran into last time, just to get the array started, these servers were so out of sync, just from shipping.
Like their time.
The time on the servers was so out of sync. The real-time clock, you know, it could be 5, 10 seconds off, whatever, that the array would not start. And the easiest way to get them to sync up again is NTP, Network Time Protocol. And of course, without networking...
This wasn't set up to actually connect to the internet.
All of these have static IPs that are assigned. So in our router, I had to create a VLAN that has the same subnet information and route it from the server room all the way over here to here and plug it into the switch. Had to go in the switch and tell it, oh, 10 gig is fine. It doesn't have to be 200 gig. And then they turned on no problem. But I want to access the IPMI so we can see the power consumption.
Sure.
So we've got to plug this bad boy into all the IPMI ports really quick.
Oh, okay, so we need some patch cables.
The patch cables are right in the front.
All right, let's do it. Oh, that's wild, yeah. The management port for this one is actually on the front.
Oh, man. It's so much nicer in here.
I want to see all 72 drives is what I want to see.
You might be asking for a lot.
No, no. Bare minimum.
When those 4 drives are missing, the array just rebuilds. Oh God, just give it a second.
Shut up.
Sick, it's working. Okay. Woo! The cool thing though, when those 4 drives are missing, the array like rebuilt itself like it was nothing. It takes like 5 minutes because they're so fast.
Yeah, but we want the capacity.
We want the
That's
performance.
the whole point. A petabyte of flash.
Okay, I hate to burst your bubble. For some reason, they only configured it with a 500 terabyte like drive.
Only 500 terabytes.
I think we can expand it later, but for the purposes of the first demo, I think let's just leave it. I don't want to break it. I'm SSHing into the node. Oh, look at that. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Good, that's the correct number.
That's a lot of GPUs.
It's a lot of freaking GPUs.
Is there NVIDIA SMI on
Each
here?
of these is like,
oh, look at that.
400 watts. 3,200 watts of just a GPU.
We're not connecting to these things over anything like SMB, because that would be way too slow. We're like directly connecting with the Weka interface, and we're gonna be using GPU direct storage, which is super cool. We'll talk a little bit more about that later.
Yeah, this visualization is super cool. The green things I'm looking at, I guess, are drives.
Those are the drives,
and then the gray things are cores, or no, the gray things are drives, the green things are cores. That makes way more sense, actually.
Yeah.
And then blue is our network interfaces. That is a pretty neat way to visualize it.
Oh yeah, you see this? Look, they're pinning cores to specific drive slots, it looks like. And there's some special sauce going on here, I think.
There is some manual ass shiz that went on in the configuration of the system. Seriously though, a lot of tuning, because like I said before, making a 1 petabyte flash server, easy. making one that performs near
Even
the
close.
actual...
We're still not going to be hitting the peak. You'll remember when we did the Honey Badger server, we got like 100 gigs a second.
Yeah.
That was directly writing to individual drives. There's no file system, no RAID parity.
No networking.
Nothing was going on.
Yeah.
This is a usable file system across 6 servers. All right, you ready to see some big numbers?
Yes.
This one's not as exciting as you'd expect.
What?
You run it, and then it shows you, it like gives you a file with the numbers. That's not that fast.
That's not very fast.
Just give it a sec, okay?
Ooh! It's faster. You said this was going to be cool.
It's trying different sizes. This is probably like 4K. Right now the script is starting with GDS, or GPU Direct Storage. It sounds very complicated, and realistically in practice setting it up was probably very complicated for somebody. But the main difference is, rather than taking the data from those NVMe drives, putting them into the CPU's memory, and then into the GPU's memory, we're skipping that middle step. It goes right from NVMe to the GPU's memory. Oh, there we go, 15 gigs a second.
Was it CPU first then?
No, it's doing GDS, but like I said, it's doing different block sizes. You ready to see some big numbers? Okay, so this is GDS, it says GPU Direct Storage only read tests. 106 gigabytes per second. So that's like 114 gigabytes per second.
Over
that's
a
like
network with a file system.
Blu-rays per second. Like full quality, big boy.
Like the whole thing per second.
Holy.
And again, we've seen numbers like this before, but not with a file system loaded on it.
No, we could take the, you know, Weka?
We could actually use this.
You want to like SMB for a second here?
I mean, well, we don't have a client that's anywhere near fast enough, which I guess is a perfect opportunity for us to talk about what this would be for. Want to show us that visualization demo? Humanity's desire to look beyond the stars is nothing new.
It's not.
And one of the major stepping stones in the space travel is finding a way to transport people. In all seriousness though, sending people to another planet is an incredibly complex challenge, but one that modern computing can help us with. And one of the current proposed plans from NASA involves sending a 6-person manned craft all the way to Mars. After the 10-month journey, the crew would transfer into a landing pod that is 16 meters in diameter, so roughly the size of a 2-story house. Due to the sheer size of the lander, as well as the thin atmosphere on Mars, it's not possible to use a parachute to slow down like they have on past landings, like the Perseverance rover. So instead, NASA wants to use retropropulsion, otherwise known as creating thrust in the opposite direction, to slow the lander down from 12,000 miles an hour to, the ground in less than 7 minutes. Simulating this landing is a very important part of the research and development for the project, and with the power of the Summit supercomputer's 27,000 NVIDIA GPUs, over the course of a week, they were able to build a 100+ terabyte model of the landing. That is over 1 billion points, each with 7 numerical values: density, vorticity, pressure, that sort of thing. And I guess we have NASA security clearance now? Because we have that exact model loaded up on the $1 million server.
And here it is.
And Jake's got it running right behind me. Now in the past, engineers would actually take this data model and render it out frame by frame into a video. Still super cool and very useful, but if you want to tweak a parameter and see how it affects the model, guess what? You're waiting hours for a new render. With new technology, like super fast NVMe storage, NVMe speed file systems like WekaFS, and the power of GPU Direct, well now we can have the graphics cards render the data directly from the storage, bypassing the CPU, allowing us to do this.
In basically real time.
Real-time manipulation. That is...
I mean, it's a bit cinematic, but we're getting like 5 FPS.
5 FPS, that's, I mean, a lot better than...
Okay, hold on. 5 FPS, each of these frames is over 14 gigabytes of data.
Yeah.
That's before it becomes a frame. The GPUs have to process that.
So each second, we are streaming between 70 and 90 gigabytes from that storage directly to those GPUs. So that's 1 to 2 Blu-rays each second. Can you like move it?
Yeah, I can. Here, let's.
Yeah, move it. Play it. Trust us. This is really neat.
I wish there was a way for me to like translate how much is happening in the background. I guess we could look at how much power it's drawing.
This is what you guys are gonna wanna see. How many amps are going through our PDU here?
And that's just for this top server.
Yeah. Why does it need 17 amps at 4,000 watts right now? What the hell?
Oh, hey, this is interesting. Look, so one of our GPUs, you can see it's refreshing every 2 seconds.
Yeah.
They're kind of drawing a little more power now, but still not anywhere near 400 watts.
Yeah, that's interesting. I guess this is just more storage dependent than it is actual GPU rendering dependent, which makes sense.
They're pretty OP GPUs.
Sort of why they sent this demo. It's about the storage.
Like moving it around a bit.
Oh yeah, they get a little spikier.
You can see the utilization on the GPUs is like 50, 60%. Probably a lot of this is more the memory usage and less the actual core itself. You can imagine the type of workflow improvement you would have from being able to just mess around with this in real time rather than like rendering it, waiting 3 days for it to finish rendering because you're at a university and you got a small budget.
Works just like this segue to our sponsor.
Vessi! Do you hate wet socks as much as I do? Vessi footwear makes lightweight, breathable, and most importantly, water-resistant shoes, so no more squelchy socks. Their Dymatex material not only keeps your feet dry, but keeps them warm in the winter and cool in the summer. How does that work? The stretchy design shows that comfort is at the forefront, at times making you forget you're wearing shoes. Vessi makes cruelty-free products right down to the glue. Their shoes are 100% vegan. Whether it's a rainy city or a rocky trail, the herringbone tread design is there to help stop you from slipping around. Your feet deserve a little treat. So go ahead and click the link below and use promo code LinusTechTips to save 25 bucks on your first pair today.
If you guys enjoyed this video, maybe check out the previous parts and I don't know, maybe subscribe to Floatplane. Maybe we'll shoot an exclusive of packing them up. No, I don't think we'll do that.
I gotta wonder if there's anything else we could do. I thought about video editing.
I would love to use these for the machine vision cat squirter turret project.